And we're live. Welcome to another episode of
Go,
the
Ron.
Live Clean and Fight Dirty show. Today's topic: why should everyone train in martial arts? Now, we're kind of biased here, so you're going to have two martial artists tell you why everyone should train in martial arts. But beyond our own personal biases, there's plenty of reasons why you should. And there's a lot of things that you can do and spend your time doing. And maybe one of the questions you might be keeping you from trying is I don't have the time. That's usually one of the things that people always say is like, oh, I don't have the time. I already have a whatever work and whatever else. I kind of want to do martial arts, but I don't have the time. Or on the other end, the people who are really gun ho feel like, oh, to train in martial arts now with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and everything else, I don't have the time to compete and all this sort of stuff. So they have a lot of mental barriers. So who best to break this down than UFC coach John Hackleman? So why should everyone train in martial arts? Your non-biased answer.
Okay. If you jump out of a plane, all right, and then you realize all of a sudden, fuck, I don't have a parachute. You're done. I mean, it's already done. You don't think, oh man, I wish I had a chair, or I wish I had a table, or I wish I had a baseball glove. You wish you had a parachute. You need a parachute. Now let's make this really closely related. Now you just walked into, maybe you're in a neighborhood, or something happened. You walk into the Walmart parking lot. Somebody jumps out of their car and wants to attack you. You don't need a parachute now. You don't need a chair. You don't need a table. You need martial arts. You don't need soccer. You don't need football. You don't need baseball. You don't need, you need martial arts, because that's the only thing that's going to save you. And just like when you jump out of the plane without the parachute, and you realize you don't have a parachute, it's fucking too late now. It's too late. You're dead. You should have put on that parachute. When you get jumped in the street or a Walmart parking lot, and you don't have the martial arts, you can't like, I should have been training. Yeah, it's too late now. It's too late. You can't go back and get it. And that's why I think there's such a close similarity there with the parachute. It's such a good one. But it really, to me, it resonates with my martial arts. Like, if you get jumped, your kid gets jumped. Let's say your kid gets jumped by the biggest bully in school. And all these years, you've been sending him to soccer and t-ball and whatever other little sports they do. But that one time he gets picked on, and he gets physically attacked at school. Now it's too late. Now he's just going to get the shit kicked out of him, and that could set the stage. He might be a bully magnet from then on, right? Whereas if he did martial arts and he thwarted the bully, now guess what? No one will ever pick on him again. No one will pick on him again. And that transcends school, playgrounds. That'll carry on into high school, college, military, marriage, whatever. Once you're not a bully target anymore, you're not one. Bullies have a real good, like gay guys with a gaydar, they have like bullydar. So it's like they know who they should be picking on and who they shouldn't. And once you become the person that they shouldn't be, they're not going to anymore. Like, I mean, I'll use some personal stories. This happened to me in junior high school, and it carried me into high school. No one picked on me in high school. I used to go to high school dances at different high schools, every like Friday night there'd be a dance somewhere around. I think it was Saturday nights. There'd be a dance at a different, uh, usually in the high school cafeteria. It was usually a cafeteria, but different high schools all over Hawaii, and a lot of them were not haole friendly or white friendly at all. But I was known as that guy that isn't a bully magnet. When the locals would say something, they knew I wasn't the guy to be picked on, and that started in junior high school when I got to my big fight. So that is how important that is for your kid. So if you don't want to do it for you, somebody might jump you and your family in Walmart parking lot. If you don't want to do it, then that's your choice. What happens to you after that is going to be a result, a consequence of your choices. But if you want to do that terrible choice, don't make that terrible choice for your kids too, because your kid is going to be getting the shit kicked out of him and getting bullied all the time. You're not, but he is because of your poor choices. So there's no, if ands and buts. Every single child should be training martial arts, and as far as that goes, so should adults. But if you don't, and you get picked on, it's too late for you. And that's terrible, but it's too late. Your choice. But like I said, don't make that choice for your kids too. Don't make them pay for your poor choices. Thanks.
So I imagine most of the people watching this are martial artists.
Hmm?
Most of them are. Most of them are martial artists.
I hope.
I hope. Maybe some of you aren't. Then welcome to the show.
And we should convert them.
Yeah, we welcome to the show. Please, we will get you started. Put it in the comments. I want to train, and we'll send you all the places where to go. There's plenty of resources that we have available.
I can't hear that.
Okay.
You just went blank.
I can't see you. I can't see you nor hear you. Or I can hear you. There you go. You were gone.
Okay, now I can see you.
Yeah, you left.
Yeah.
You're back.
Okay.
So my question is, what's your advice since the majority of the people are doing martial arts, so listen to this show. What's your advice to them talking to their friends? Because I'll always remember when I first took my first martial arts class and I got together with my regular friends that don't do martial arts, and I was just so excited about the hammer fist and talking about the hammer fist and how you can hit him in the nose and hit him in the temple and kick him in the groin. I was talking to them and they're looking at me and they said, "You seem really obsessed with hitting people, and we're really happy that you're doing martial arts, but we really don't understand why you're so obsessed with this." How would you help our martial arts listeners kind of get other people as excited about it as we are? I guess that's my question.
I just talk to people. I just I mean, they could talk about different sports, right? And I tend to push things all the way to the limit of like in a conversation, because to me, then it makes sense. I mean, there's all kind of, there's all kind of things you could say, like, well, you should train because you might, I don't know. The most extreme is you're going to get jumped in the street and you have to protect your life, right? So that's a big one, right? Another big one is if you end up, if you end up in prison, then your training could prevent a prison rape type situation. And that's a hard one for people to understand because most people can't relate, but you got to think outside the box. Like, I never commit a crime. I've never been arrested. I've never, but I know there are situations like if someone jumped me and my family, I'm going to defend myself. And that might mean me hurting the person, right? So if it does, then all of a sudden my fate lies in the hands of 12 people and a jury and a judge, and a lawyer, a DA. I might defend my family's life. Anyone out there could. Any one of you guys get out there could someday have to defend your family's life. And if you do that, you do harm to the person, then you could end up in prison. You could end up for protecting your family. You really could. And in that case, now, boom, now again, we need that training more than ever. We need that training more than ever because, like I said, it could be the only thing coming between you and a prison rape situation. So anyway, that's the most extreme, and people, you're so extreme. Yeah, sometimes look at the fucking news, like shit that happens. It's extreme. Sometimes extreme shit happens, and if you're ready for it, that's great. And if it never comes, then it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So there's no downside to it because one of the biggest upsides of martial arts, besides number one, making you a protector and able to protect yourself and your family, but here's number two, it helps you live longer and live healthier. I mean, that alone should be the only reason, right? Number one, that alone. One thing, I got one finger up. It's a joke. You get it? The finger. I was thinking. Anyway, so with all that said, with that said though, without a doubt, just training alone, just physical training, the kind we do in our gym, without any martial arts, techniques, just the training, the physical training we do, it's the number one cause of longevity, right? And the number one cause of thwarting or fighting off all-cause mortality, all causes. The number one way to beat all of that is hard physical training. Diet is number two. And I don't know what 3, 4, 5, and 6 is, but number one, without a doubt, is hard physical training, like punching and kicking and push-ups and burpees and getting your heart rate way up, like when you drill and spar and hit the bag, and doing the strength work we're doing with the medicine balls. And so it's like the double whammy. That should be a name of a good one too. Our we could do a couple videos and a podcast about that. The double whammy of martial arts, because now it protects you in the street, protects you from getting hurt or killed. And even without that, its conditioning properties of our system put you in the top percentage of people that are going to live longer and more healthy, a better life, be more productive, happier, more energy. It's such a win-win, double whammy. It just makes no sense not to, because CrossFit is great. CrossFit is great. It's probably the best single workout program in the world. Okay. But it does not address you getting attacked. CrossFit, or the pit, which we call the pit. We came up with the term CrossFit back in the early 2000s. Actually, Greg Glassman did, he was the founder of CrossFit. And he said, yeah, if you just, minus some of of our techniques, put yours in, your martial arts techniques, let's call it CrossFit. And that's what we do. But so even without our techniques, our fighting techniques, just the fitness. Now you put them both together, there's no reason that everybody shouldn't be training. It's like the biggest no-brainer, because running is great. say you're a sprinter and you like to run sprints. That's great. That's great for your cardio. It'll get that up, right? As long as you do some lifting and stuff for your musculature. But it's great. CrossFit is even better because it addresses your cardio and your strength. The longest livers will be CrossFit guys, without a doubt. But not if they get attacked. Then you need the martial arts. But we put in the CrossFit in our martial art. We call it CrossFit. And so we punch and kick and grapple and learn all the important self-defense. And we do extreme conditioning. So I don't know. It confuses me when people are like, they don't put their kids in, they don't train, and I
Or
just
the
kind of shake my head. And I'm not trying to sell memberships right now. I actually shake my head thinking, how could they not train? Do they just think someone's going to always rescue them if they get attacked? Does everybody out there that doesn't train think that they will get rescued if they're attacked? And the answer is going to be a resounding no.
and just going back to that longevity part that you were talking about, I was just reading How to Boost Your Memory and Stay Brain Healthy at Any Age by Dr. Richard Isaacson. And he mentioned a study. And the first thing, like, we're talking about the brain, and he's talking about
Yeah.
Alzheimer's. And in the first chapter, he's like, let's talk about how to mitigate cognitive decline. And his first chapter is about health and fitness. And the first thing he mentions is running, not just running, cardiovascular health and weight training. He said
Yeah.
specifically, you can't just do one, you can't just do running, cardiovascular health and weight training. And he breaks down, what does this have to do with the brain? And he talks about how the same plaque that builds in your heart builds in your brain, and it leads to cognitive decline. And again, I know we're biased, and now we're going on a rant on how biased we are with martial arts, but I'm telling you, as someone who trains in triathlon, I enjoy my martial arts training way more than I enjoy my triathlon training. It's way funner. It is way funner. Martial arts, the doing the CrossFit exercises between with also the bag work and mitt work, that is way funner than just running a 5K. I do it. I can do it. I've learned to meditate past it. But martial arts training, in my opinion, way funner. Way funner. You're around other people. There's a community element. It's a lot more things in my opinion, and again, I'm biased, that you
Yeah.
can do with that.
And with all that said, that's important and really important. I mean, your longevity is great, but that could all come to a fucking screeching halt if someone jumped out of a fucking, you know, park car when you're walking in a parking lot and just fucking attacked you and you fucking smashed your head on the ground and you're dead. Now you're dead. You've been running your marathons, triathlons, whatever. You're in top shape. You get attacked, and now you're dead. You're dead, or you're in a coma, right? With a tracheostomy.
It doesn't even have to be that extreme. You're a triathlete or a cyclist. You get into a road rage incident, and you're a little older. You're in your 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, and that person just pushes you over. They don't kill you. They just push you over, and you break your hip. Guess what just happened to how long you're going to live? You just lost 10 years right there in a broken hip. Not even a tracheostomy, not even like really a huge assault here. You fell over, you broke your hip, you lose it. Boom, just like that. All your training gone. Just like that. All your triathlon training. So again, I know it sounds biased. But it's true.
Truth is the truth. And yeah, so you just look at people and you're just like, you just look at them and you shake your head. It's like, why aren't you training? Why aren't you doing martial arts? It sounds like, well, because I'm a martial artist, I want to sell it. But I'm thinking, I mean, it's like a hospital, are they selling it by saying, preventive care? Or, it's like, yes, it might sound like you're selling, but it's also 1000% true.
But
right?
it is preventative care. Like I said, that what you're talking about aligns with preventative care. It's the cheapest preventative care. It's way easier to get it done now than to wait till you're older and then try to catch up. You can do it right now. You don't have to be, you're 30, you're 40, you're watching this video right now. You can start right now. Or you can wait till your body's falling apart and try to
Yeah, like me.
turn.
You can be my age. You can be 65 and start. Yeah.
You could. It'll help. I read in that same book I was reading. It will help. It will help if you anything helps, but it does help a lot better if you start earlier. So we have a lot of comments to attend to here.
Yeah, I feel.
Um, let's see
Yeah. Oh, we
here.
do. Okay.
Michael Madsen, Hawaii no Kaoi. The pit lives on. Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Jesse E. Well said. I agree. Don't be a wimpy ass pushover. Zen Baron. I train every day, more than 5 hours a week. My issue is that I have Asperger's. Therefore, I have a hard time making eye contact with someone. When I pass by, I get nervous. I know. Oh, yeah, you go. Well, at least
Who's
you
that?
know. That's Zen
Who's it?
Baron. Zen Baron. You know? Do you know what Asperger's is?
Yeah, but no. You just look at him and you just say "fuck that" and look at him in the eyes anyway.
There you
It's
go.
something. It's something that
There
you
you
can't
go.
control. It's like you're. I don't know. I could be obsessive and I want to eat ice cream every day. Okay, guess what? Get over that. I might have an obsession with ice cream, but you could have Asperger's, but you could still make eye contact. Just up your confidence and just make that rule over the Asperger's.
And then Zen, as coming from a psychology background, I've mentioned this before. I got a master's in research psychology. Start in small increments, man. If you're walking down the street and you have your head down the whole time, you can't make eye contact with one person. Make it a goal to make eye contact with one person a day. Start with baby steps. Find one person, look them in the eye, and tell them good morning. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to look them in the face and be like "fuck you." Is start off hard. Start confident. Take good morning to someone.
That's like
Start
my
small.
house. That's what we do at my house.
You walk around getting people's face.
Give each other a dirty look. What the fuck you looking at? Yeah, next thing I know, we're going at it. But anyway, I'm joking.
Yeah, Mitter 999. Does training martial arts help your lower back get strong? I have minor lower back arthritis.
Depends on, yeah, now arthritis, that tells me that something's on the older side or the overuse side. That's usually what arthritis is. And yeah, it does help it, but even what it doesn't help, you still got to push through that. That's one of the things that you should be pushing. My wife has a terrible lower back because she got hit by a head-on drunk driver who had 5 prior drunk driving arrests on the freeway. They went on the wrong side. They came and they entered the exit of the freeway she was on and went head on with her at like 60 miles an hour. And her back is just really bad. She's going for a black belt this year. She's in a lot of pain and has to do a leave a lot, a massage a lot of physical therapy. But it's like it's such a terrible thing. But you know what you got to do? You just got to fucking if you got dealt that hand, you just got to deal with it. You got to work around it. Like one thing she doesn't do much of is sparring, free sparring, because she loves to spar too. She can beat the shit out of everyone. But she's powerful. But it just moving like if she's moving one way, she could set herself up and brace her back for everything. But when she's sparring, all of a sudden she's going this way, then that way, and it tweaks it, right? So she can do that once in a while, but during the black belt cycle, it really got to her because she had to do it like a couple times a week. And so it started getting on her. Now they're winding down because she's going to go over there and do the Wilhelmina and do the actual test and ceremony in Hawaii. So she's cutting back a little on that, and her back's feeling a lot better. But you just got to suck it up. Just some things are just you got to work around it and suck it up and do it and realize there's some pain. Now I'm not saying if it's going to cause you, irretrievable pain, irreparable pain, or make the injury worse, then you obviously don't do that. You do something else, but you can almost always work around an injury. Like, one of the best kickers of our lives, Superfoot Wallace, right? he had a terrible injury to his right knee, I think. So he got famous, rich, and I don't know if he's rich. I know nothing about his bank account, but he got famous. Let's just say I don't. He might be rich, but he is famous as shit because of one leg, because he couldn't use the other one. So he got this one to work so well. He would kick and hook and kick and hook, and so that's what you have to do. Like, my shoulder has made it so there's certain things I can't really do as well with my right hand. So I'm become, with a knife. If I pick up a knife now, it's always with my left. So now I've become dominant with my left to use my knife because I can't really do it as well with my right anymore. So you have to do that with your back. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's easier said than done. I know that. But what's your alternative? Just sit there and get, weak?
Yeah.
No, it's not. So
So
what else we got?
Bill Wallace' net worth is $700,000. So he's not super rich, but yeah, not bad.
I've read those on Google. I've read mine. You can Google me, and it'll tell you. I've Googled Chuck and I've Googled people I kind of know, and it's never been close to accurate.
All right, so there we go. So it's not accurate. So we're not going to go down that road. All right. Let's see here. More comments. Next is John Cox. My daughter is going to a new school and she's having problems with bullies. She's 9 years old and she has fallen in love with her hands. Do you have any advice for her, getting her to use her words?
How old is she again?
9.
10? 9?
9. She's beating people up at school. She loves using her hands.
Huh. You tell her to only fight when somebody's about to hurt you, and then you have to go from there. But I guess it's all about degrees, but I'd rather my daughter be a little quicker to jump the gun in a fight than not at all. So, but I don't want my daughter being starting all kind of fights either. But I don't know. I'd weigh that one.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You don't want her. You don't want her to lose that fire.
Yeah.
So I guess a conversation about not losing that intensity, but knowing when to use it would be helpful.
Yeah.
William John, I am a former boxer with limited grappling experience. A
Yeah.
BJJ gym opened near my house, but due to my schedule, I can only go to a 1 hour class once a week. Is it worth it to train in BJJ once a week for 1 hour?
Depends on what it's costing. I mean, I mean, you'll get something out of it. Not as much as twice a week, obviously. And I don't know where the roof is on the diminishing returns, but it's still going once is better than not going at all. I guarantee you that. So now it would be down to what's the cost? Is the cost worth it? Like we do a 1 or 2 day a week thing. It's there's a difference in price, but but that's what I'd find out. So the answer is yes, you can get some out of it. You get more out of it in 2 days a week, and then but find out how much it's going to cost for once versus twice a week.
And then really, if you can get twice a week, I've seen the most optimal changes happen twice a week, 1 hour class, and then if you're talking about trying to cut down to the minimal of what your schedule can handle, 1 hour class, 15 minutes of free rolling afterwards. That means they do 5 minute rounds, so 3 rounds of free rolling after class. Twice a week, you can get a lot of progress done in that minimal framework. 1 week, you can still do it, but twice a week will really help you progress depending on what your goals are. Mac Trey, I didn't miss anyone. Mac Trey. It also makes you feel more confident to attract hot blondes. There you go. And you can tell them, all of them, you're sparring and you fight and give them street fight stories.
That used to work with me.
I know.
No, that used to work back in the day. Now my wife just yawns and tells me to shut the hell up. I still try to make tell my stories. Wow, back in the day, I used to do this and this. She'd be like, seriously, John, shut the fuck up. So I do.
Karate Guy Mussy. Thanks for the info, Pitmaster. There are many benefits to martial arts training. Mitter 99. Losing 70 pounds helped a lot with my health. Thank God for diet soda. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one small change. That's a very small change and go a long way. Don't drink soda with sugar. That'll really help. John Cox, do you give ranks to kids online? Is there an online program for kids? Oh, that is a good question, John Cox.
This is a good idea, but we don't know.
Oh, good idea.
Something to think about. Okay, we might do that.
Something to think of. We think
I think online training is great. I don't know about the kids because we're so interactive with the kids and so many things that revolve around. I don't
but
know.
a,
Maybe you
but
can
a,
practice
but
that online.
but going with what we said earlier, and I didn't get to ask this because we were running out of time, was how I have a lot of parents come in with their kids, but they don't want to train with their kids. And I always tell them, if you train with your kid, not only is it a lot of fun, but your kid will improve twice as fast because you
Really?
get to be there. You get to be there with them. You get to be there and train. And then when they go home, you're learning the material too. So it helps. It really
Yeah.
does. A family that trains together. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say. But yeah,
Yeah.
that would be it'd be interesting. That's an
Yeah.
idea. It's an idea.
We do parent train with the kids. We do that as specials, like twice a year or something, and then the parents get on the mat and train with the kids. Then we have a parents train the kids so they hold the mitts for them. We have one of those days too. But besides me, when I started, there was no adult beginner or kids or adult class. It was just a class, and it was 90+% adults. And I was a kid, so there was no difference. But now, with all of the, all of the things I've done and seen and read, you know, I mean, I like the parents to be training too, but I couldn't be in an adult and kids class. I couldn't teach one. That would be, um, I could do it like we do that on Thanksgiving workouts, New Year's workouts, parents train with kids workouts. So we do it probably 2 or 3 times a year. But I have to train adults like adults and kids like kids. It would be trying to learn because if both are trying to learn, like you're trying to learn the same thing, and you're a parent or a 10-year-old, and you go to school, are you going to be in the same class? Probably not. So it's kind of that like that. I think of that way with the martial arts. It's just training kids is a whole different skill set, really. But it is fun to do it once in a while. And I think the parents training with the kids in the same gym, in the same class, yeah, they can train together, especially when the kids get a little older. Next thing you know, they're in the same class. We have a lot of family. I have 1 7. One adult, the wife doesn't train. The father trains and 6 of the kids train. And I was trying to set it up so they all got their black belt together, but a couple have fallen behind more. So it'll probably be 2 groups. And then I have a father daughter going for their black belt together next year. And I have a father son going together. I think the kid is 18 and the father is like, I don't know, older. But so yeah, we do that. So that's how we do it.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. So yeah, as far as your question about the kids online program,
We don't have.
not now, not now. Zen Baron, what am I gonna say? I guess that I'm a little B word. No, no worries, Zen. You can work on that. Karate Guy Muzzy, nice job
Wait.
losing 70
Why was
pounds.
he? Why is he being a B word for what?
Oh no, we were giving Zen the advice of eye contact earlier.
Oh,
Zen's
he's the
the,
Asperger's
he's the
guy.
Asperger's guy. He's the Asperger's guy. You're not a little B word now. Just work on it.
Yeah, you just got to work up to it.
Yeah.
Just look at people. Just say, just practice that. That's even if you do it once or twice or start off doing it a lot, try this way. You look at them right in the eye and just go, "Hey, what's up, man?" And that you can. I mean, like even in the neighborhoods when I was in the worst of the neighbors, I would just look at people, hey, what's up, man? And then everything would just be light then. Like, hey, how you doing, bro? Long time no see. And then they'll look at you and go, do I know you? Go, I don't know. You look familiar or something, but that nod right there just lightens everything. It takes it from everything is kind of tense for a second. Then as soon as you go like, hey, what's up? Then everything just comes right down.
But I will add, you probably shouldn't do it with a knife in your hand the way John's talking right now. That's all. So, this has been another episode of the Live Clean and Fight Dirty show. One episode every week at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Your opportunity to ask your questions to a UFC coach and martial arts instructor, John Hacklin. There are still slots available for adults. I guess I'll have to start saying that little add to it. On the Pit.tv online martial arts lessons available. If you are hesitant, you can audit a class for less than 2 cups of coffee, see if you like it, and then join. We'll catch you all next time.
And we mean it costs less than 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Starbucks.
You don't actually pay with coffee or receive coffee.
John does not take payments of coffee online. In person, you never know. But online, it's just not possible. All right.